Better Hit the Mat podcast.
Hi everybody and welcome to episode 20 of Better Hit the Mat podcast, allegedly a fitness podcast. And what? 22?
2-0.
Oh, I was going to say 20's plenty, so like we said we were going to quit at 10. Let's quit now.
Fair down with it.
All right, guys. See you.
It was nice to own you. It was fun. It really was.
What are we going to do with all the t-shirts?
Oh, and Travis got ahead of it. He's in the fucking car already, look.
Hey, I'm searching for good Wi-Fi.
He's fleeing the scene.
He's fleeing the scene.
Actually,
crowd.
Travis is currently on mile 2 of Smitty's run.
Exactly.
Crushing that pace.
Of course, we've all done our Smitty's run, and it was a raging success and a fantastic day. Thank you for everybody who took part.
I can't
Yes.
believe I finished it in under 7 minutes. Incredible.
The best day ever.
Yeah, I can't believe after 5 hours of DDPY, I decided, fuck it, why not? Let's just do the 5K as well. And I ran off and did that too. Who'd have thought?
You did.
I can't believe we raised over $2,000.
Hey,
That's-
that one's at least true.
The only truth of the matter.
That one is true.
That one is
That one
true.
is true.
So,
That's awesome.
Trav, are you in a position to be able to cheers with us?
Oh yeah, let me grab my little ice water here. Sure.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers, fellas. Good to see you.
Now, while we talk about the cheers, I have a little something I'm going to blindside you all with, because after Kenny joined us on the show as Tom's stand-in and did a fantastic job, he sent me a little message and a little compendium video clip, which I'm going to drop in here.
Because what it was number one, it was a doctor who had been telling people in that
And then I was already talking to Travis, though.
that graffiti artist.
That was good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
What's that, Ryan?
He's
all the time. It's never enough, and there's stuff everywhere.
The feeling.
Yeah. And then a
I
country
have
bomb
no-
on top of that. It's going to be some
Yes.
sticking to the ribs type stuff.
Hyde Park. I went to. I saw Phil Collins in Hyde Park.
I saw the Chili Peppers in Hyde Park.
I kind of like that better than how we do it over here. And there's no wait.
Your language is minimal, Mimosa's watching, right? But
There's not many in this country. And I was like, it was the first one I'd ever seen in real life and not in like an action movie. And I was like, fuck, that's big. I was like,
And then I'm gonna eat.
Dude, yeah. I got to take a wicked leak. All right.
See you, man.
and I'm ashamed of myself as an editor. I did not notice how many different drink receptacles Kenny in fact drunk out of. So I thought I might have had a drink problem, but clearly that's a lot of containers there, Kenny. He told me to say that. In fairness, he told me to say that.
Well, leave it up to Kenny to put Easter eggs inside of Easter eggs inside of Easter eggs. That's kinda right up his alley.
It's like 3 layers deep, that show.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
running base.
I'm convinced he actually doesn't have a full-time job. He just figures out ways to fuck with us.
Yeah, he just watches Danny Boyle films and then, yeah.
Brilliant. So we had some pretty good reaction to Bruce's episode. I mean, it just shows how loved he is in this community, how many people have respect for him, and it's been kind of like a slow burner as far as the amount of views, but it started kind of slow, and it's just like it feels like it's doubling every day. Lots of comments on the video, lots of people just happy to hear him talk. A really good reaction to Tom's gluten segment. I think people learned a lot, and no complaints yet. So outside of Kenny bitching at us for getting us, I'm convinced that was Kenny. That was Kenny because we did not mention Conan the Destroyer.
That might have been. That might have been because of Will Chamberlain. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But something I want to bring up is we talk about the old guard and the new guard of the DDPY group, and Bruce is one of those transferred. I consider him. He was kind of in that middle guard. He was with the first set of instructors that was coming through, and he's transitioned really well with everybody else. Like, he's a constant figure in the community, and that's why I think he's so well loved, is that evolution. He follows that sort of plan. As things change, he changes too, and he's just here to motivate and help. And it's pretty awesome everybody knows Bruce too. The other thing is, how can you be on that page without knowing who Bruce is?
Right.
Because he puts himself out there so well. So really fun time with Bruce.
Yeah, and I have to say, there's loads that there was loads more chat there that either we couldn't put out or won't put out, but we rabbit holed a lot because it was just like a load of instructors getting together. We were comparing notes. I mean, the chat went on a lot longer than what you guys saw. We had a really good evening with him. So thank you, Bruce. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I think you probably cut 40 minutes out of that.
Yeah, easy,
said and done. So unreal.
I want to give a massive, big shout out to the one and only Steve Highland, who is one of our awesome DDP level 1 instructors in the UK, certified this week. Steve has been, I'm trying to think how far back now. Certainly since the beginning of the lockdown last year, he was in a lot of our classes. We got to know him more that way. And he's just been fantastic support to all of us for everything. And good to see him get that cert nailed. I've seen him teach, and obviously I will have seen him teach when this comes out, because he did one of our Smitty's run sections. And
Yes.
yeah, he's a great instructor. So
It was an okay workout.
congrats,
Yeah. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Best workout I've ever had. 2 stars.
I mean, it's
But
a
what
shame
about
you
that
broke-
guest instructor? Wow, we.
Yeah,
How did they get that person? Oh my God.
it was a shame they broke their ankle at the end of it, but it was going really well to that point. But no, it was still a great event. So,
Again, could have been better. 2 out of 5. Let's just be honest.
do we have to spell this out, or is it like, will somebody be confused? We have to say we're recording this.
No,
before-
I would think that
No, just-
people are picking up
Okay.
what we're putting down.
I never know. I honestly
They're
never. In my first podcasting community, we had a thing called "Is it made for Wendy?" Because they knew somebody called Wendy who just didn't get anything in the movie. It was like, oh, so that's his dad. Yeah, Darth Vader. You know,
Oh, Dark Father.
yeah. So yes. So we would say, yeah. Is it made for Wendy or is it all right?
That's pretty
Sorry
funny.
if your name's Wendy.
There you go.
Speaking of former podcasting and all that you've been in, you had a buddy that just posted recently, right?
Yeah, that was yesterday. So my buddy Mark from Fright Fest circles, so which is the horror festivals I go to 2 a year if I can. One in Glasgow, one in London. I started going to those as a Billy No Mates on my own. 1 ticket, please. And just sort of awkwardly hi at people, you know, who's the weirdo on his own. But
That whole place is full of weirdos, man. That's why you guys are there.
But no, they're surprisingly not weird. This is like the horror community is just like anybody looking outside. You're watching eviscerations and decapitations and all the kind of gore and you could think of. The people who go and watch this stuff are the most lovely, kind, considerate, down to earth. Just
Oh yeah.
they are lovely.
Weirdo was not meant negatively whatsoever.
Okay, some of them are weird, but because I go, obviously. Anyway, so this group have been going to Fright Fest years longer than I have. It's been running 20 years, this thing, and they're a pretty well established little, maybe a clique, but they call themselves like family, and they really kindly just sort of started talking to me, I guess, a few years ago, and they are wonderful. And over lockdown and the free classes stuff, we've had about 5 or 6 of them come and do classes for a while, go away, whatever. But Mark had asked about it, and I'd given him a bit of advice, and he was sort of at the rebuild side of things. So he said, "Thanks for that, brilliant," you know. And he just went quiet for like months, and you know, chaos. Well, bad on me. I didn't check in, and then yesterday I saw he posted Face to Face Friday on DDP Yoga. Showing his progress currently and the work he's done, and I was just super chuffed to see it that he's just gone away, he's taken it, and classes were a bit much to go to straight away, so he's building up to that level, and it's great to see the progress he's made. So well done, Mark, and proud of you, buddy. And
Absolutely,
Fright
congratulations.
Fest fan.
Yes.
Well done.
And speaking of going quiet and coming back, the one and only positively unstoppable #1, Chase Green is back.
Yeah,
I saw that.
So
that was cool.
And really put himself out there. Said, "Hey, I'm in worse shape than when I started, and I screwed up, and I got lazy, and now I'm going to do it again." And big shout out to Vance for being willing to be so open and vulnerable with his failures. I think that really helped trigger chases change, and so that's awesome. And he's posted videos every single day thus far since making that video.
Nice.
His son Abel's joining him, so running right next alongside of him. You talk about a great reason to hit the mat every day, man. That's a hell of a one. So.
And that's a hard step, putting it out there publicly, because obviously his transformation was so public before. So he like that was a big decision to put it out there. So I was really tough to see that.
It's scary, and but here's to hoping. So I can't wait to watch the sequel, because I know that there will be another one. So he knows how to do it, and he'll do it again.
And of course, Vance's video that sort of inspired him to sort of say something was Vance had a bad week on the diet, and he was punishing himself hard. And his next weigh-in, he'd lost 2 pounds. So, nothing would happen.
Oh, those things happen sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had showed some giant. He called it a Costco size, but I'm pretty sure they're available at Sam's Club. Don't ask me how I know how. But of pork rinds, and he's like, "Yeah, I ate that whole thing." And I'm like, "That's why I look at every single food as one serving. If I were to eat all of that, what are the macros?
What do I have left for the day?"
Wow.
So I mean, because seriously, like when you look at Oreos, you don't look at 2 cookies. You look at a sleeve, right? A sleeve. That's one serving. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, yep. Same thing with pork rinds. If I have to eat that whole bag, how much am I eating? That's why I can't buy like a giant bag of like pistachios or anything else. Like I will purposely spend more money to get the individualized, because otherwise I'm just going to kill them all.
I have to do the same. I open that bag, scan
thing.
my face. Although I'm learning the hard way, I found an amazing candy company based in, I think they're in Sweden, and they make super low sugar sweets. And my big downfall is downfall is candy, as you call it. And it's like every petrol station's full of it. It's really hard to just not pick up a bag. And like you say, you open the bag, it's going in my face. So this stuff is obviously largely polyol sugars and, alcohol sugars and stuff. So it's not sugar. So you can have a few, satiate it. My idea was I'll get a load of bags and I'm going to make my own little pick and mix selections in a little container.
Pick and
take
mix.
those to work. Yeah, that's what we call it.
How British.
Very British of you.
Pick and mix. Seriously.
Usually that's a 6-pack of beer. Usually,
I was saying, if I'm making a craft brew 6-pack, yep.
right?
It's a big wall of sweets with unsanitary scoops that you put in a bag that since COVID will never happen again.
Oh, the scarfing section. That's what I used to call the scarfing section back in the
Oh, I thought those were free samples.
Yeah, they were free samples.
You pick and you mix. You pick and you mix.
Who mixes? Nobody
Everyone.
mixes. No.
Oh, that's the thing here.
You bag individually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it's
Call it
sacrilegious.
by the pound.
Put the
We call it by
sour...
the pound here.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody getting a little bit. It's definitely by the pound when you're.
Oh, yeah. No, we fill the bag. Like, it's 20 quid once you've finished at the cinema, for fuck's sake. But if you put, like, fizzy fish or, like, cola bottles, as we have, covered in sugar and citric acid to make it tangy, people who put that in the bag with white chocolate sugar mice, get out of town. You shouldn't mix that. You have to... I used to do it in batches. So, like, this is my fizzy sugar coated, this is my hard boiled, and this is the chocolate fudge based bag. Yeah, I had a sweet problem.
Russell Stover's has really hit the market huge here in America with stevia based candy. Okay. And they're fantastic. They really are. Like the chocolates are quite damn good. And the only thing I'd say is if you jump in on the gummy bears.
If you want to play a good prank on somebody,
yes, mix sugar-free gummy bears, because they're made with maltitol, and it literally, there's a warning on the back, and it says, "Do not consume this whole bag." It literally tells you not to, because you are going to be shitting for days.
So if you go on Amazon.com and look up sugar-free gummy bears and look at the reviews, there are some stories of people like on international flights eating them, in a car eating them, things like that, where literally just blowing their asshole out.
Oh yeah,
it's
real.
My drive home on average each day is about 2 hours, and I tend to not eat while I'm on site. So my lunch break is the 2 hours in my van on the way home. So I tend to lunch about 4 o'clock. I'm weird. So I put a bag of these sweets in because I hadn't made my little pick and mix things as well. And you finished my story for me. Don't eat a whole bag. Whatever you do, they're really nice, but there are side effects.
So obviously those are kind of off limits with lockdown and COVID, but we're starting to see a lot of things loosen up here. Big vaccine rollouts are going out. I finally got my second shot. By the time this airs, I'll be allegedly cleared. Have you guys got your stuff yet?
Waiting on my second.
Not
Great.
yet.
Are you done, Tom?
Yeah, I've been done. I actually got mine a little bit earlier because
Yeah.
of work. My staff is fully vaccinated too, so didn't have any major. How'd you guys do with it? Do you have any major side effects? Anything weird?
So I got it in my left arm. My clavicle neck area was kind of tight that night, and I had a sore throat the next day. Just a bit tired, but otherwise all good.
Huge mixed reaction between people with that. I've had some friends and family that were just out.
Yeah.
Heather slept for like 16 hours on her second dose, and she doesn't sleep at all.
My director got his first dose, and after 2 hours, he was running a fever, and he passed out for 18 hours straight. So just
Jeez.
gone.
It shut Sparks down.
Wow.
Yeah. Jason got hit hard.
I had a weird reaction. So it was the next day. Was it the same day? No, it was the next day. I got
Memory
home.
loss, number one.
Yeah,
reaction.
memory loss.
Amnesia.
It's like someone's telling you a story. It's like, it doesn't matter, carry on. But I was knackered, so I went to lie down. There's no change there because that's what my job does to me. But like, it was all my little aches and pains that I'm always bitching about. They started lighting up like Christmas tree bulbs, is what I was thinking. Just sharp pain, sharp pain, sharp pain. I had about 2 hours of that. It was really odd.
You were just passed out, and it was actual Lavinia just
Poking me with needles.
Or somebody had a voodoo doll. And they were just
Yeah.
knocking you out all night.
There you go.
So, Tom, now that you're clear and free to go, and things are opening up, what are your plans post COVID?
In general, in life, or
Yeah.
well, we got our wedding
Vacation.
coming up in September, so that's a big thing. We've been planning a lot for that. So we'll definitely be sharing some videos and photos when we go and do that afterwards. But that's our next big step. So I flew, that one time to Atlanta just a couple weekends ago, and the airlines were not following any of those guides that they said they were. Nothing at all. I got all this stuff beforehand saying there's gonna be open seats and nothing. You just had to have a mask on. That was it. So I don't know. I'm still playing it safe just because I like not. This has been pretty decent. The big thing is seeing my family now. So we definitely got to make sure if we get a chance. My entire family now is all vaccinated too. So my brother who lives in town, I've been able to see him a little bit more. I had some family just come and visit last weekend. So it's going to be more so of that, just kind of getting back to seeing family and friends. But I will not be in a crowded bar in Myrtle Beach anytime soon. I will not be at a water park. I will not be just going to still be kind of taking it easy because, again, I think there's still a lot of variability just because of all the different strains and stuff like that. And it'll be interesting to see how everything starts. I'm getting a lot of information as a physician that there probably will be another booster that will be available.
Yeah, same after 6 months, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. So the more and more research we're seeing on that, even with the Johnson & Johnson, where they thought they wouldn't need the booster, it's looking like the data is coming back where you might have to. So we'll see. But I think it'll be cool. But I have no plans on teaching live anytime soon. The online platform's been pretty good, and we'll just kind of see how it goes.
What about you, Buzz?
Samesies. First thing I'm looking
You
forward
getting married too?
Let's get married to me. That's our announcement this week.
If your t-shirt's true. No. Oh.
Get a haircut.
Yeah, get
By
a haircut.
September.
First thing, next Saturday, I'm getting a fucking haircut.
There you go.
It's been on the books for the last
number
2.5
one.
months.
I'm not getting one until we come off the travel ban.
There you go.
There
He
you
says
go.
from his car.
Yeah.
Work travel ban.
There you
And
go.
that hair's not long, honestly. I like a Yeti. It's unbelievable. So there's that. Much like Tom, I will not be diving into. I was in a pub this afternoon, but it was outside and it was very well controlled. So we did meet friends today, which was nice because we've been locked down for a long time. But yeah, just sort of gradually rolling out. For me, the main thing is getting back to hitting people with lightsabers in real life. That's the bit I'm really looking forward to. So that's it. Really.
What about you, Travis? I'd assume just taking the cult on the road, yeah?
Yeah, eventually I'm going to have to get stuck with that shot. So, especially if I plan on getting on that boat, right? So, that's going to have to happen.
Yeah, but your 5G will get better, Trav. Come on.
I
Embrace
know,
it.
right? Yeah.
Feel like shit, but I look great.
I look great.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
and Bill Gates
other
might
big
know where
fans.
you are, but does he give a shit about you? Probably not. I wouldn't worry too much unless you're a big fish. It's
Like, man, I've been social distancing for the past 10 years anyway. If you saw where I lived, you know. So we don't see anybody or go anywhere or do anything anyway. I don't even have pants on right now.
Amen.
Yeah, me either.
What are pants?
Pretty much live in basketball shorts.
What about you, Ryan? Work, more work, fucking work.
I mean, work is nightmare. We're putting in a brand new back end system, so that goes in this week. So hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll be free and clear of a lot of that stuff, and so thankfully no, I mean, well, because I go from having one person on this system, me, to having a team of like 45 people on the back end.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of off of me, but as far as
we rolled out a new system, we're a year in and we're still nowhere near.
I'm 2 years into SAP and they're still working on it. So yeah, it's a nightmare. So, but yeah, teaching in class soon enough. But the gym that I was teaching at finally started introducing masks more so than they ever have, and I think it's because they're starting to see some people come in and try to break protocol and things like that. So. Eventually get into more in-person teaching as soon as I find more time. And then somewhere down the line, we just need to go on a vacation. I've got like 240 hours of vacation I got to use.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of vacation time. So just got to figure out when the hell you can. And that's the problem, though, is and Boz, you're kind of in a similar situation, is if I were to take the day off, there's nobody that could cover what I was going to do. So the idea of taking a week off, that just means when I get back, there's a whole week's of shit that did not get handled. And so just I'm looking forward to hopefully utilizing some of that. So
the problem with weeks off is the same for me. Like you say, the week before you do a week and a half's work, the week you get back you do a week and a half's work. You still do 3 weeks work in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I generally try to drop I'll try to drop like a Thursday, Friday, and then that Monday off, and then that's my week off. Just kind of roll on the weekend. That way you're not trying to play catch up nonstop.
Doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So otherwise, not too many things. So, but honestly, I just look forward to gathering like that pub thing. We don't drink much, but the idea of going out, having that option, that'll be nice.
Yeah. So when I say pub, I was talking in the Bruce Nelson sense of the word. So we went for lunch.
There you go.
Roast dinner.
Did you have a chip? What the fuck was he talking about?
A chip, buddy?
A chip bomb. Would have been a bomb.
I would have loved to see his face when they dropped that sandwich off in front, because Bruce got not the best poker face. It would have been awesome to see him.
Right. Yeah.
Am I supposed to put that in my mouth?
Do I put the whole thing at once?
What do I do with this? Do I dip this in something? What is this? Where's my burger?
Where's my burger?
Is that coming out later?
Yeah, that's every time when I was in London, it was either Indian food, it was like tikka masala or a curry, and then
the national dish.
Or cheeseburgers, like playing it safe.
Hey guys, if you want
how special, absolutely not.
Tip: if you wanna sound like you really know about British culture, if you talk to someone British, you want to impress them. Like, don't go down the fish and chips line. Everyone thinks, I need fish and chips. In fact, I was at a film festival thing yesterday, and the American director was like, "Okay, I've got some speckled hen here, and now I'm going to have fish and chips." It's not the national dish. The national dish is chicken tikka masala. It was invented by Indian people for the English.
So what's our national dish? What are the things that, like, what is your perspective of what you think our national dish is?
Pizza and hot dogs.
Pizza and hot dogs.
Yeah, pizza. Actually, hot dogs on pizza.
So you take a pizza slice, put hot dogs in it, fold it, eat it, deep fry it at the carnival.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're probably right there. It's probably going to be a cheeseburger, a pizza, or a hot dog. That's very American. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You're going to a kid's birthday party. They're serving hamburgers and hot dogs, or pizza.
Frozen pizza, squares, love it.
Little Caesars, $5, bitch. I don't like you that much.
Also, every mealtime portrayed in any film, TV show that comes out of the States, they have pizza for dinner.
Yeah, or fried chicken.
Pretty much to a thing.
Yeah. Fried chicken's pretty popular too, like like as a television trope. Like the mom picks up the bucket of chicken. At least during the '90s. Maybe they dialed that back a bit, but yeah.
I just always comment on pizza again.
I can't watch this or eat pizza.
Pizza
so
is the
good.
AC/DC of food. I've said it before. Right.
Yeah.
Oof.
Fuck AC/DC.
Hey, rats like pizza. What do you want to say?
Rats like anything. So you guys want to bring on this week's guest?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Sure, let's
Awesome.
do it.
So this week's guest is Chris Sullivan. Chris is the perfect example of just how quickly you can achieve results in this program with dedication to hitting the mat and discipline in the kitchen. And he is honestly proof positive of one of my favorite Tom lines, that DDPY works if you do. So please welcome Chris Sullivan.
Big Chris, what's up, dude?
Hey.
Woo! Cheers.
What's up?
Do you have a
Come on,
beverage,
dude.
sir?
Cheers, he does.
Ooh,
A Ghost.
what's
yeah.
that?
Ooh.
Ghost. They just started putting out the energy drink. It was like a pre-workout company and
Yeah,
protein
yeah.
supplements.
I just started seeing these maybe like 2 weeks ago.
At a gas station or like health store?
Grocery store.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And it matches your ear spaces, so it looks pretty cool.
Thank you for noticing.
What gauge are you? Are those double zeros?
These are
I don't know shit about it.
5/16.
There you go. Double zeros is
What's
Is that
that in
where
real money?
Double zero is like a fine Crayola
Yeah,
marker.
yeah. There you go.
Okay.
5/16 is crazy, unreal.
Yeah, I stopped sizes and sizes ago. It's just they just get weighed down. Eventually, they just start falling out on their own, and I have to go buy bigger sizes.
There you go.
How far are you going?
I tried to stop like 3 sizes ago.
Oh,
It just keeps
can't do
doing
it.
it on its own. Yeah.
I knew a guy who got his down to here.
Ugh.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
just
I like it
earlobes
like
all
that.
the way
You're like,
down to
oh,
here.
that's disgusting.
Big
The
weights.
smell, dude. The bigger they get, the worse
Yeah.
they smell.
Oh yeah. Do you get keloids that you have to pop on them and stuff?
No, not really.
Yeah, my old roommate, she was a piercer, and she would get them like nonstop, man. Just
Gross.
ugh. Yeah, absolutely. But she'd also force her sizes instead of using like the gauge, like bar, push it through.
Oh,
she
no.
would like just force it in, and then
Oh.
nope, not worth it.
It's a
Sounds
terrible
good.
experience every time you go that way.
Yeah, people find it weird when I know about piercings and shit and tattoos when I've got no piercings and no tattoos whatsoever. But like, I always say this and I bitch about it because I come from the era where only metalheads and bikers had tattoos and piercings. Now, like in the UK anyway, everyone's got a tattoo. Like everyone, and I'm the odd one out. I'm kind of like, oh, that makes me alternative then. Yay!
So true though. At least
Oh, yeah,
where I
dude.
live, if you're the person without the tattoo, we go places. I would be the only person that doesn't have a visible tattoo in the entire,
Visible.
place.
But yeah.
Visible.
So,
Boz
but yeah, like,
knows what it looks like.
that's what I noticed when in the UK is like you go to Camden and it's just alt kids everywhere. It's nothing but metalheads and alt kids and just.
But it always was, and it's what I like is it's always moved with whatever the current alt scene is, I guess. So it used to just be exclusively heavy metal and people with hair everywhere, and now it's like it's a great place to go.
Oh yes,
I love it.
seen kids for days in Camden. That's for sure. So speaking of seen kids, how did this all start, Chris? Like, how did you end up with DDP yoga? Because obviously you're not necessarily the tried and true demographic. I'd assume. I mean, obviously you're a wrestling fan, rocking a Young Bucks tee and whatnot. And I know
Yeah, for
I know a
sure.
little bit more about you than most. But did you start watching Dallas, or like how'd you end up here?
Honestly, like I only knew Dallas from his horrendous WWE run.
Oh, so bad.
So, yeah, but
When you say wrestling sucks, there you go, Boz. That
Oh,
Yeah.
sucks.
sorry. I'll put it up. There you go.
Yeah.
but I started hearing about it because I listened to the Jericho podcast. So I would hear about it for like weeks on end on that, and then it always sounded good, but I never really looked into it. As soon as they'd stop talking about it, I'd forget about it. And then I saw DDP on the AEW Bash at the Beach show where he came out and wrestled that match. And then heard it again. And then just one day I was like working and I just realized like, dude, I am way too young to hurt like I hurt. And then I just heard that ad again and was like, all right, maybe I'm going to give this a shot. And then just it was right. I think like in less than a month after like the lockdown and everything shut down, I was just like, okay, like if I'm going to be locked down and not seeing anybody, this is what I'm going to spend all my time doing is improving myself. And this is how I'm going to do it. And I bought the program and started right away.
Chris, I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen you on the page for years. I can't believe it's that soon. Like I've
Yeah.
seen your. I'm thinking, oh my god, that was just so soon.
I'm
But
just
man,
shoving it down your throat. That's what it is.
yeah, no, I love it, man. I love it.
Oh my
Tom
god!
does love that.
Again.
Ah, fuck.
Goodness. He loves it.
I do.
More
So
innuendo
twice.
bingo. Here we go.
Oh, this is brilliant. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I said, meant in the intro is, Chris, you posted, was it April to June? I don't know, Boz, I gave you the image, but it's like a 2-month progress, and people, like, it's you and your Toy Story shirt, actually, like, it's like night and day difference. Like, I think people, like, I know in the thread you'd post, like, it has like 2,500 reactions. Or 2,500, is that a thing? That's 2,500 reactions. There you go. Which
It's
is
a thing.
Yeah.
What's that
yeah.
metric?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how that. I need somebody to Google that. But between that, like, the accusations, this is fake. This is longer than 2 months. You bought a different size shirt. That one was my favorite.
Yeah, that
like,
was
no,
good.
you just went and bought a different size shirt. And so, like, I know, like, some people see those and they think, like, oh, this guy's being negative. No, man, those are the highest compliments you're gonna get. When somebody accuses you of faking it, that's how you know you've done something good. So, I mean, what that was one of your initial posts, like, that kind of blew up in that group. Did that just, like, push you even further?
Yeah, for sure. And then, like, look, the thing is, looking back at that too, is like, I look back at that first post, and it's like the after picture looks like a completely different person to me. So, like, the progress I made then, I don't even remember looking like that anymore.
Right, absolutely. And that's the kind of thing, like, and you didn't necessarily have, like, that, like we referenced so many times in the past, like that shitty before photo, but it maybe in comparison to how you felt about yourself or how you look back on yourself, maybe it was, but it just shows you that, like, you don't have to be in, like, this terrible shape to see significant results. I mean, even Travis, like, your before and afters, like, on your Roundhouse photos, they're like night and day difference.
I was surprised. I never knew that difference myself until I put them together. And I'm a little over 2 years at DDPY. I've never done a face-to-face Friday thing. Wow. I mean, I was really amazed of the day one photo and just a few months ago. It's crazy.
Can we mute Travis out of this? His before picture sucks. Let's be honest. He looked terrible.
I
Bring him back.
have Travis on individual mute right now, but seriously,
Yes.
guys, fuck him. Just the worst guy. I just can't stand him. So I'm gonna now mute him. But yeah, I love Travis. I mean, he's great.
Best
Great dude.
Hey.
before and after that I've ever seen.
I love you too, guys.
Yeah,
Best-
absolutely.
It's awesome.
I'm so glad StreamYard unlocked that feature for us.
Best feature they could have done.
It's only $200 a month. It's worth every penny.
So many OnlyFans subscriptions having to be sold just to fund that one feature.
That's okay.
Oh, there's a switch. Now, see, Kenny's made us obvious. You started with one drink and then you just swapped. So, yeah, amazing. So, I got one for you. I know that obviously you're into scene music and whatnot, and you're the vocalist for a band. It's Bloodsuckers Anonymous. We were just talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Have you, obviously, since lockdowns happened, I know you probably haven't performed live much, but has like your transformation changed your vocals or anything like that much?
I definitely have more. So the thing is, when I was doing my music for the longest time, I was doing live shows constantly, and that was when I was at my heaviest, and I was like drinking a lot of alcohol every day from the second I woke up until the second I didn't even realize I was falling asleep, every single day. And I smoked like 2 packs of cigarettes every day. So cutting all of that out and losing the weight, yeah, it's tremendous difference. Like, I would go on stage and just play a 25 or a 30-minute set, and I'd be completely blown out and winded within like 8 minutes.
Right. And you're playing. I think I saw your fiance post that you guys you play at the Foundry a lot.
Yeah, the Foundry, the Agora. We used to play at Peabody's Down Under. In
Yeah,
Cleveland, that was
Agora
still
Ballroom,
there.
right, in Ohio.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great bands that go through there, man. Like The
Yeah.
Plot and You from Autumn
Mhm.
Ashes. I've seen play there. There's really good, man. Foundry has a ton of killer live shows too. Really,
I love
really
the
good for the
Foundry.
scene. Yeah, Absolutely great sound. There's a dude on YouTube that does like GoPro footages of all the Foundry shows. Just awesome stuff. Usually,
I've played there a few times, and he'd like shoot me a message right after and get me a DVD and stuff of my set every time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love
he's got
being able to
great
sit
audio
back and rewatch. Yeah.
And he'll also let you know like it's, man, some people, like, you can tell like how bad some of their live stuff is too, because he doesn't fix it. If your guitar sounded like shit, guess what? That recording, it's gonna sound like shit.
Yeah, that's half the magic, though.
Debatable. Depends on who you ask.
In a world where all music is polished to perfection, to an extent, I enjoy the imperfections.
Oh yeah,
if it's
there's
bearable,
something to be,
if it's
yeah,
bearable.
for live music, there is something there. So.
Oh, it's the punk aesthetic, isn't it? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you tune your guitars? Guitars can be tuned. What's your tuning? Oh, I just twist this. Twist this.
So, how did you cope as a band with the lockdown thing? Were you zooming rehearsals or
actually
writing?
I want to say shortly before that, like the couple people I was working with, we just kind of slowly eased out of like communication, didn't really hear from each other, and I was kind of doing everything by myself, so it hasn't really affected much other than just I haven't really done much because I'm really only into doing the live thing. Like, I'll write and record songs so I have something to play live and then go do shows. But since everything's been closed out, I really have just been sitting on a bunch of instrumentals that I need to go track vocals over top of, and I've just kind of been waiting for that.
That's cool. And nowadays, with the home setups you can have, it's amazing what you can produce without having to go to a studio. I love it.
That's actually something that you're starting to see like a lot happen with, and you'll see this a lot with music probably over the next, I'd assume 12 months, is so many of these bands got put into quarantine and so they just started recording. But the thing is, not all of them are recording together. So you're seeing a lot more digital drums being utilized, or like the new Bring Me the Horizon album is basically a digital album recorded by 2 of the 5 members, Right. And the Glass Animals album that got put out was basically their lead singer doing almost everything, and then the band kind of coming in and doing fills. But it's just the sound of music over the next 18 or this past 6 months and probably the next 12 is going to be a lot more narrow approach, where you see a lot more home instrumentation and home recordings, just because I think that eventually those guys, they're so used to playing every single day, they didn't have anything to do, so they just started making music. And it's probably going to hurt the quality, because you're probably going to get a lot of quantity and not the best quality, and there's not necessarily a producer in there saying, hey man, don't do that sounds like shit.
Yeah.
So
run it back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, just think about it. Like, I think when that Metallica documentary where it shows them recording, like, even the Black Album, I think they recorded like 40 something songs and they narrowed it down to 11. So there was like 29 songs sitting on the floor that just nothing, because somebody had to come in and say, dude, don't do that. That sounds like shit.
Well, they clearly didn't have that for, was it Some Kind of Monster where they wrote Saint Anger?
Saint Anger. Oh.
Yeah. Just
snare drum.
The bit they didn't have, and that it's not on the cutting room floor obvious, is the person who ran into the studio just went, stop everything, put it all down, give it up.
You guys aren't thrash.
They need
Stop.
that guy. And
No,
this guy over here, Lars, he's going to come and tune your snare drum for you, okay? Stop doing it yourself. Sorry, I hate that album.
Oh, it's so bad. So, Chris, I don't know if I'm sure some people have seen it in the group, but your transformation obviously has inspired a lot of people, including somebody named Sandy Davis Sullivan.
Yeah, that's my mom.
So exactly. And so it wasn't too long after, I think you had started posting in like June, July. She started kind of posting in the group in like November, and then she did a thing where, and I wrote it down here. It says, today is my 50th birthday, and I'll have Bots put up the photo. I'm just so happy I could do a roundhouse on the leg I had knee surgery on this past July. My son Chris Sullivan has been my inspiration on my fitness journey, and I couldn't be more proud of his progress with DDPY. He has inspired me to be the best me that I can be in 2021.
Yeah.
That's
Cheers,
about as
Mom.
high as a compliment as you're going to
Give
get.
it up to
Cheers,
Mom.
Mom.
Cheers.
I love you,
And
Mom.
seriously, killer form, huge transformation. You can see, I mean, physically, and you can tell the confidence boost in her as well.
Yeah.
And that right there is probably about as as high of a compliment as you're going to get is like to be that thing that inspires your parents to get healthier. And you know, I continuously kind of make jabs at my dad. Yeah, I know you're listening here, Dad. I'm trying to get him on the mat, even if it's
What,
for
with
a little
your potty mouth?
He still listens. He tells me that we use the F word too much. I don't know what fucking word he's talking about, though. He's still trying to narrow it down.
My dad
So,
will not listen
my
to
mom
anything I
says,
produce
thanks,
because I
Ryan.
swear too much.
What was that, Travis?
I said that's what my mom says. So thanks, Ryan.
Oh,
No,
is it? So,
Hey, they
It is
make-
mainly me and Ryan, so yeah.
it's true.
No
It's all
apologies.
good. It's
I don't
all
know,
good.
man. Every time Tom drops an F-bomb, it makes me smile because I'm like, that dude's got a doctorate. So,
Unfortunately, some of my patients have heard the show. My grandmother listens.
Exactly.
It's not like embarrassing.
My mom's transformation is, like, I think it's cooler than mine, because so my entire life she was like a fitness addict. She did the Insanity and
Oh,
the
wow.
T25 and all those like psycho beach body workouts.
Crazy.
Yeah, and she doing all those, she eventually blew out her knee.
Oh,
She had to go get surgery on it, and she was like hobbling around. And this was like right around the time I started doing DDPY. And that was what I told her. I was like, hey, look, I know this might seem a little boring compared to what you're used to, but I know you're addicted to working out and you can't right now. So, you know, if you're getting a little depressed about it, here's something I'd highly recommend. And she started doing the, what's the sit down? Is it the chair force?
yep, chair
She
force.
started doing
Yep.
the chair force, and she got all the way through it. And I think when she first started, she couldn't bend her leg really at all. And then she finished that, and she texted me. She was so excited she finished it. And then she was going to start the stand strong, and she finished that. And then she started the beginner. And then last time I saw her, she was telling me that she's considering doing the certification program. And that
Wow.
she says she's going to keep doing this for the rest of her life. And she's never felt this good and all that. And it's like, it's cool, man.
Good on
another
her.
cheers.
Awesome.
Another cheers.
Yeah, for like,
Yes.
and that's the thing that you kind of, I don't think like a lot of people realize. Like, I love HIIT training, and I love just like going after it, and just, you know, Travis, like we did the Shamrock Shake stuff, man. I live for that until like 2 days later, and you feel the result of all that high intensity, high impact work. And just as, not that I'm like old, I'm some age. How old am I? I'm 38, and it doesn't like
Yeah, that's
it
old.
doesn't. It is.
I can say that. Come on.
I'm 38 with 4 knee surgeries, so you know that's it. My left knee is actually, my left knee is younger than the rest of my body, but it still feels like shit. And is as fun as that stuff is, man. It takes a toll. As good as you feel, it also just breaks you down. And that's one thing that I'll give this program, or any kind of yoga program, honestly, is it's about longevity, and it really brings on to that. You know, it's a marathon, and in it for the long game. And like you'd said, she had said that she can do it for the rest of her life. She probably can.
Mm-hmm.
And you may regress. You may go from advanced workouts to more intermediate hours to 30 minutes, and then it maybe eventually end up in a chair, just because it's easier on your knees or it's easier on your body. But you're still doing something. So that's incredible. And what a cool story that would be, huh? Like, just like you tell your mom to check it out, and now she's teaching it.
Right? Yeah, how cool is that?
You said about your aches and pains. Is that from just lugging too much sound gear, or have you like injured yourself in some way?
So for me, I want to say it was just from being overweight. I wasn't like super duper overweight, but I was definitely overweight. And then zero.
I was
physical
fat. I wasn't
activity.
fat, but I was fat.
Right, like I wasn't quite fat as fuck, but I was like, I was getting there. There's some videos that my fiance showed me when my son was only 1 year old, where I had like breasts, and it was like alarming to see. It's the type of thing that anytime I start feeling like my progress isn't where I want it to be, she comes at me with those old memory videos, and she's like, you want to think
Shames
about
you.
this instead?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all
What a
right,
lady.
all right.
Now has
But,
she
aside from that-
done any of that with you?
Yeah. Her stories too is amazing to me, because for her, she has depression, anxiety. She got, I think, diagnosed last year with PTSD and all this type of stuff. And she started doing the program secretly. I caught her doing it. She started doing it without me knowing, because she saw the mental transformation that it did for me. So she started doing it while I was at work. Like I bought the DVDs and I started using the app, and I never put the DVDs in because I started using the app right away. And I found them out, and I was like, what are these doing out here? And then she was like all embarrassed. I busted her doing the workouts, and then now she's I think 4.5 going on 5 months pregnant, and she's doing the DDPY for mamas a couple times a week.
Very cool.
I do it with her. What is the thing?
Is that allowed?
What's that?
That's allowed?
Yeah, you can use a cushion.
Oh, you can use a cushion. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I would say you guys are. This is child 2, right? And also
Yeah,
you guys
right.
recently engaged, right? Was it this past December?
October. We got engaged at our 4-year anniversary, I think. We were out on a date.
That's
Popped the question. Awkward.
How did you do it?
Oh God. It was like a teenage romantic comedy movie, man. We went on this date, and originally we were gonna go because it was October, so I planned on taking her to like a pumpkin patch and doing some romantic shit, and then those plans got scrapped. And we ended up going to like the mall, and we like went and had food, and like I had this big ass ring in my pocket. It was like in this big ass box, and I'm wearing like my super skinny jeans every day in my life. And it's like this big wooden box that like has a built-in light and shit. So I was like terrified all day that she was gonna ask me what the fuck is in your pocket.
Does it have a skull hand that brings it out when you open the box?
He wishes.
No, that would have
That'd
been
be
fantastic. But we did. There was a bunch of moments throughout the day. Like we had a friend, and she was dead set. She wanted me to get the proposal on film, and I had a couple friends who work at the Hot Topic there. So I was like, we're just gonna hop in Hot Topic, and if I can get like 5 seconds over here that you're not listening, I'm gonna ask this girl to film me proposing to you in Hot Topic because we're both emo kids. It'd be romantic as fuck to propose in Hot Topic. So.
Hey, I came to Atlanta, the one shop we went to when we weren't at the performance centers, we went to fucking Hot Topic and bought t-shirts, so no shame there.
But so they weren't there, and then we did one of those photo booths, where you get in, and I was like, the whole time we were in the photo booth, I was like, it takes like 4 or 5 pictures of you every couple seconds, and I was like, how romantic would it be if I pulled this ring out and get her reaction in the photo? But I was like,
Can't get it out of those goddamn pants.
Exactly, that was exactly what it was. I was like, it's not coming out of these
Can't
fucking
leave my
jeans
hands.
smoothly. Like, it's just gonna be pictures of me like fucking this. So I gave up on that, and then like before I knew it, we were leaving, and like we go outside, and I was getting us an Uber home. So we walk out the doors, and she's like, "All right, go ahead and get the Uber." And I just like started pacing around the property of the mall, and she's like, "Are you gonna get the Uber? Like, can we go home?" And I'm like looking anywhere for any slightly romantic looking area, anything at all. And then I found there was like a bar restaurant that was like their patio was completely shut down, but they still had like romantic country music playing. And she's
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
That's possible. Okay.
Yes.
So just all right. Okay.
Well, yes.
Some Florida Georgia lines playing.
Yeah, and so like I like walked back there. She's like, "I don't think we're supposed to be here. This is closed." And I was like, "Oh, I don't care. Like, let's just."
I'm a badass.
Yeah, exactly.
make rules.
Let's just go.
Breaking the rules.
She's like, "Okay," and then I so awkward. And then I get her back there, and she's like, "Are we going home?" And then I got down on the knee and gave her the ring. She started bawling her eyes out, and then that was it. And then she like so happy, cried all the way home and stuff.
You're like, why are you crying? She's like, I hate Kenny Chesney.
But no, it went well. It went well, all things considered. But it was just the most anxious I've ever been in my life for like hours on end.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Stories like that are way better than like the preconceived. I love that story. That's awesome.
Absolutely. The fact that you had like 5 different plans and all of them fell through, and you settled for country music in a closed pub's patio.
She feared for her life for a second. She thought for a second you were going to take her in the dark, murder her, and he's like, "No, get engaged. We're good."
And she was
I like
into
it.
that too. She liked the idea that could have happened.
Yeah, she wouldn't be that opposed. Like,
Exactly.
oh,
That's pretty much the reason she said yes.
yeah, exactly.
The long
At
Get
least,
me off
did you give up the
patio.
skinny jeans? Did you give up the skinny jeans at least?
he only wears Jinkos now.
He just paints them on in the morning.
No,
Come on.
Actually, I bought one pair of slim fit pants that are almost skinny recently for job interviews. But I can't go any more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big-
I've never been able to do the skinny jeans no matter what I do. Number one, I was never that skinny, but now that I am, like I wear a 30 in my waist, but my quads will not fit into a 30 waist pant. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm
they
too
finally
skinny for skinny jeans.
Where they Levi's put out, I think it's their 514 line, which is like their I guess standard fit, but for people that work out, for people that do squats.
And they
quite
actually stretchy generally.
Yeah, they
yeah.
started putting elastic in the denim too, so that's helped.
I hate that.
Finally, like for the first time in my life, I have real jeans that fit.
I hate that though. Ugh.
Yeah.
At least your proposal didn't go. I saw one recently of a guy decided, Lord knows why, in a very crowded food court in a mall to propose to his girlfriend off of the polystyrene chair or whatever he was sitting on. And she just said, no.
Oh, Jesus.
Surrounded by people.
Not this time.
Yeah, they're actually Dallas just posted yesterday a repost on Instagram of I think maybe ESPN Sports Center or something, and it's a dude. He's getting ready to roll up on his girlfriend. At the time they're playing basketball 1-on-1, and he's getting ready to dunk on her, and he fakes left, he fakes right, he fakes left again, and he eats shit right on the ground. Totally looks like he blows out his knee. She doesn't know what to do. She's freaking out. His friend's screaming, yelling for him, trying to help him up. She's like in tears, thinking, that her boyfriend's just wrecked. And then he pulls out a ring and proposes. Just slays the entire gym. And it's in front of a room of people. Brilliant work. Absolutely brilliant work. So
I saw one where a guy staged with some police officers came up, pulled him, and got him out of the car. And his fiance was freaking out. And it's like, come on, dude, I don't know why you would even want to do that, but they had him on the ground on his knees. They got her around there. It was crazy, man.
Debatable these days.
Wrong time to be doing that kind of shit.
See, I think if I was to stress her out beforehand, it would be immediate no.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You're risking that, aren't you?
Biggest risk in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
My first marriage proposal, I spent hours creating a video because Mac had just come out, started doing stuff. I did a green screen with a sword, and I made lots of fire, and I filmed fire against a green screen, and I did a sword with fire and a sword, and I put all my effort into that. And then the day I decided to play it, I couldn't. What I originally wanted to do was get it on a cinema print, go to the cinema, put it on the big screen as like a trailer beforehand and do it there. But I realised she would have killed me. So I thought, I'll just put a VHS in the machine and I just press play. And then when it finished, I just had the ring and I went, will you marry me? But she knew I was going to ask. It was already planned. So, and then I thought it was a really romantic gesture. All I heard for 9 years was the fact I didn't go down on one knee because I was sitting on the bed. I was lower than you!
So
what do you want from me?
They call those red flags. Boz, I do want to know though.
Yeah.
Do we have this video still? Do we still
yes,
have it?
Is there a video still? And then number two is how'd the fedora look against the green screen?
You've lost me now.
That's okay. The people that know will know. So, Malay, I'll DM you. You'll see.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Educating boss. Here you go again.
Actually, Chris, you're probably one of our first guests that had like really immediate and fast success. April to June or June to August, whatever it was. And you've seemed to maintain quite well, since then. I think your last here's my big updates was kind of around Jacked time coming out, rolling out, and but otherwise you haven't necessarily continuously posted hey, here's my latest update, because it's you're kind of in this maintenance thing. And I know you have a lot of things on your plate between the engagement and now the new kid on the way, so it's probably you're just chugging along. What have you been doing to kind of stay that course and to maintain for other people that might have this quick immediate success? What advice would you offer them?
I didn't really change anything I was doing. I still with the workouts, I started doing the 20-30 minutes a day a few times a week. And then once I kind of burned off that initial bunch of weight, it was it started to feel good doing the workouts. So I started doing 40, 50, 60 minutes a day, 7 days a week. And I think now I do same thing, but five or six. I take 1 or 2 days off on the days that I really hit it. And then other than that, I just eat the same. The whole time I've just been doing the DDPY phase 1. And then anything beyond that looked miserable. I didn't want to go that far. So I just stuck with that. And then I do the intermittent fasting. I eat from 10 to 6.
Just an eating window. Yep.
Yeah. And then beyond that, just the calorie deficit, staying in that, and just that combined, that's all I really do.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Tom always tells everybody to do. Find something that works for you.
Yep.
And that you can
Keep doing it.
and you can sustain. Yeah. It's like, what are your 3 S's? Simple, sustainable, sensible? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and
I
you're
got
right.
one-
Yeah, some of those other phases, they get out of hand, man. Just
It's-
cut out all the
yeah.
garbage. Just cut out all the garbage.
But,
Right,
but that's
exactly.
phase 1 was like, I remember the first time I got my DVDs, I opened the book and I thought, okay, oh, there's three levels to the diet side, so you can ease into the diet side. This is a guy who's like takeaways 3 times a day. So I open it up, I read phase 1. Yeah, cut all that shit out. Right. I think I failed at step 1. I'll start with sugar. That's all I did. But yeah, it's phase 1. I mean, you're saying it like I only did phase 1. Like, to me, phase 1, it takes some fucking discipline, especially if you've been eating a certain way.
Yeah,
So
Jesus, the way that
don't
I
sell
used to
yourself
eat.
down for that.
Right.
So-
No, I used to eat so bad. Like, I think that's probably why I had such fast results, is because the immediate contrast from the way that I was living before, and then like, because I think there was like 1 or 2 weeks where I did a calorie deficit without actually changing much of what I was eating, just how much. And then I posted something about like, oh, I think I lost 3 pounds in week 1, 0 week 2, 0 week 3. And then Ryan DM'd me and was like, if you want to show me what you've been eating, I can help you figure out what you're doing wrong. And I pulled it up and I looked at it and I was like, I'm not fucking sending that to him. I immediately realized that, okay, like that was all I needed. I was like, yeah, okay, that's what I'm doing wrong. So then that was when I actually pulled out the book that came with the DVDs and flipped through it and was like, okay, that would make a lot more sense. And I started doing that, and then immediate results right there.
And you say you were drinking quite a bit. Was that like a lot of beer? Did you?
Oh, beer. Okay. So, I would start off with beer first thing in the morning. A couple of those big 25
Shower
ounce
beers? Whew.
Shower beer, if I showered. And they would be cheap too. We're talking Steel Reserve or
SRs.
Yeah, Bud Ice, any of that nasty shit.
The real wife beater beers there, boss. Not
Some brown baggers.
No, you're not understanding wife beater, right?
But it just gets worse as the day goes on.
I
So
could
then
drink
from that
5
point-
Bud Ices and not want to hit my wife. The point is, you drink 1 Stella and it makes you violent. It's the opposite.
But then I would also do 4 Locos. I don't know if you guys.
Oh god.
We had to introduce
We've
Boz
discussed-
what Four Loco
We've
was.
discussed.
I would drink 4 Locos like I was getting fucking paid to do it. And then, like on the weekends, on the nice days, it would be like I'd buy liquor and your Jack
If you
and
wanted to
Coke,
class it up.
Jaeger, Black House, Goldschlager. I thought I was fancy.
Grolsch is fancy. Yeah, because you got the flippy top thing. That's
Yeah,
very
right.
fancy. Yeah, I like those.
But yeah, it was bad. And then obviously, and I smoked a lot of weed back then. So I would literally just drink, smoke, smash, and then
Get the
just
munchies.
repeat
Yeah.
all day,
Chicken
every day.
smash.
And it was bad.
So
I
at the
could
point
easily-
you got the DVDs and started, then were you still doing that right up to that point? And was it just like a?
So I
Did you
ordered
ease
the
out of it?
DVD. What did I do? I ordered the DVDs on April 20th, and then it was like, hey, you get a free trial of the app, and I didn't know anything about the app or anything, so I was just like, yeah, what the fuck ever. I'm not gonna. Okay. And then I got bored. I was just sitting at home, so I downloaded the app, and it was actually right on the dashboard home screen was Ryan's Motivational Monday, and I watched it, and I was like,
Gets everywhere, that thing.
Who?
yeah, I was like, dude, this dude's in way better shape than I am with this fucked ass knee. So I was like, all right. So that was instead of waiting for my DVDs to show up, that was the day I started. I started doing the Diamond Does It and stuff. And then that's why when the DVDs came, I never even opened them up. I did open the book because I'm old and I can't navigate through the app for the user guide. But
Oh, it's so slow, to be fair.
yeah, the book was a lot easier for me to comprehend, but beyond that, yeah. And then I was just like, why would I have even bought these DVDs? There's so many workouts on this app.
Is that like 40% of DVD buyers? They buy it, the DVDs take a while to ship, they get the app, they don't even open the DVDs, right? Like,
Well,
I'm
what-
convinced.
What
that's
would
what
you?
happens.
Well, what happens as well is when you get the DVDs, you get 3 months free of the app anyway.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
you get
Yeah, and
that
then
code,
you
you
get to
put it
keep
in while
for
you're
a
waiting.
price.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with me.
Yeah.
I did the same damn thing. I gave mine away.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm pretty sure that like 40% to 50% of the listings on eBay are people that bought the DVDs and are just now on the app, and then the other are people that bought the DVDs and they just never bothered. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But of course, when the internet inevitably implodes, you'll be glad of those DVDs.
That's
Just
true.
saying. In the apocalypse.
Every workout is right here.
That's right. Free flow.
That's right.
So I have the DVDs and gold bars buried in my backyard, just in case.
I was getting ready to say, you pointed, you went buried. I was like, where are they? Okay.
Yep. Backyard.
All your
Gotcha.
all your VHSs, you know, all
Yes.
that physical media. So
Yes. I got
In the
SummerSlam
future, yeah.
1987.
That's right.
The VHS
from
in there.
Crown Home Media.
I'm in the middle of moving right now, and I literally yesterday just taped up 2 boxes of VHS tapes. I have so many of those.
Nice.
I still watch them.
It's a massive movement. You can make some serious money if you've got some like rare shitty horror movies. There's a massive market for those.
Man, my
Right.
mom has about 200 VHS tapes. She's
wow.
never gotten rid of anything. She's a hoarder. She probably has a bunch of cassette tapes. She probably got some damn reel-to-reel tapes too.
Dude, like, do me a favor, get me some shots of any horror selections in that VHS thing, and I'll.
All right.
Speaking of horror, Boz, I don't know if you know, but Chris's band has a song about Halloween.
Oh yeah.
It does, yes, and it's
The
quite
movie
good.
or the festival?
The film.
Okay.
The
Sound.
is that John Carpenter? Is that who makes it? Yeah,
Yeah.
John Carpenter.
that's it.
John Carpenter's Halloween. So, yes, I listened. Like I told you, I listened to the EP while working out today. It was good fun all the way around.
It's my
So-
grandmother's favorite band, by the way.
Yes,
Kate
I
loves
would-
it.
Yeah.
Kate loves it.
is that Graham's real name?
She is. That's Kate. Yeah.
What a hot
We go-
name!
We go by Graham now. We go by Graham.
That's awesome. So, speaking of music, I don't know if you realize, but we have we have a mix that we ask every guest to add a hype track to. So if we're on hype mix 2 now. So when you're getting ready to fire up a workout and you need to just hit it, you need to hit it hard. What track would you add to it?
Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse.
Interesting.
He
Hands
didn't
down, I
even
have to
think.
about that for a second.
I was going to say, he didn't even have to
crap.
think about it.
If you're going to, yeah, the song gets you hype as hell. I'm not a was it Ronnie Radke?
Falling in
Not a big
Reverse.
fan of him as a human being, but
I wanna
man,
say-
that song goes hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it's been like the #1 rock song on Apple and Amazon and stuff for like going almost 2 straight years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of it. It shows how out of touch I am. Fuck.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good thing
Done.
about doing this though, because we put it on the mix, and then I will put that once a hype mix is long enough, I will use it in workouts and stuff. So I get to hear everyone's stuff and what they've recommended.
What's his former band? Something Fate, right?
Escape the Fate.
Escape the Fate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were better when he was in it. So
Oh God, yeah. In night and
Yeah.
day, totally
Yeah.
different.
I mean, they're not terrible now, but they're just kind of
See,
running.
the thing is, their singer that replaced him has his own other band, and that band also shits on Escape the Fate with him in it. It's not a great mix.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of like when Falling in Reverse tries to go like that, like scene kid hip hop ish vibe at times. It's a little bit cringy for me. But yeah, Popular Monster goes hard. So-
When he first started doing it, he was like a young scene kid, and the lyrics were god awful. But like once he kind of got the formula down, after some work, it's like they just like the last 4 tracks he's dropped just fucking slam every one of them.
Yep. Oh yeah, they all slap. Okay, so then rolling into that, and being that your band is Bloodsuckers Anonymous and you are super into horror elements, we're going to do our fist fight question around that. So, who do you think would win in a fist fight? We'll keep it wrestling themed as well. DDP, Vampiro, or Gangrel.
Right
Now
now,
this is
or, like, in
outside of the
fantasy?
ring. This is outside of the ring, and they're all throwing down.
I want to say DDP because he's probably not in pain anymore, like the rest of them probably are. But Gangrel's a thick boy.
He is a big boy.
He's big.
Yeah, he's got a wrestling academy, I think, down in Florida. It wasn't in Georgia
Yeah,
for a while.
he trains people.
Yep. Yeah, I think I would go DDP as well. Vampiro is probably on like 6 different kinds of
So
Yeah.
medications and
these are like horror element wrestlers, a bit.
yes.
Like the
So
Undertaker.
Vampiro
Right.
was kind of like a Manson-esque WCW wrestler for a while,
Right.
but now he's more involved with like Mexico lucha scene.
Wasn't he teamed up
Gangrel.
with the Misfits?
Yeah,
At one
for a
point,
while.
yeah.
Yep, he did some stuff with the Misfits.
Oh,
Good
cool.
times.
Yep, and then Gangrel was
Ale, your tattoo.
Correct. Gangrel was WWF at the time, now WWE, leader of a faction called the Brood,
that sounds
which were
very horror.
all vampire, like bloodbath. Like that was their gimmick. Was they would attack people at the end of and they would drop blood on them.
I used to
And,
go on stage to their entrance music.
And it was a great intro. It's
That's what
arguably
we
the
do.
best intro in all of WWE history. Like
Yeah.
So-
the music and the look and the vibe. Yeah.
It's
So
fire.
they're basically the Guar of wrestling. Did they chuck maggots at people as well?
No, they weren't that cool.
Oh, okay.
They were not that cool. But the other two, so Christian and Edge, went on to far surpass anything Gangrel ever did, and they were his minions to begin with. Amazing how that happened. So, no, that's
The-
all. Yeah,
the Van-
I think I would go Dallas there as well.
So obviously Vampiro being the male version of the word, Vampira is the female. Like the costumes aren't similar because that could be interesting
No.
in the wrestling ring. Okay, just checking.
No falling out up top. So
Okay.
no, not at all.
So
So
I was just thinking Borat was what I had in mind with the mankini.
so
Not
Chris,
an intimidating wrestling look at all.
depends. Lots of leg locks. Awkward leg locks. So, Chris, when we had started this show earlier, we were kind of talking about post-lockdown plans. What do you guys got planned? Are you planning a wedding post, like, restrictions being lifted, back to music? What do you got planned?
A little of everything. My fiance actually is a ridiculous singer, really, really good. And she hasn't ever done anything. So me and her are planning on, because like I sing, but my main thing is I play drums. I play drums much better than I sing. So the plan is for us at some point after the baby's born and she's had time to recover and stuff. Yeah, we want to do a band with her singing.
Cool.
We want to do. We're gonna do a wedding, and I think we're shooting for 2023.
Oh, wow.
Like we were gonna do it the year before, but then we were like, well, with the baby being born, like we want to let the kids be a little older, be a little easier to take care of while we're on like a honeymoon and stuff. And then beyond that, just all the boring adult shit. I'm trying to get a house, trying to do all that stuff, trying to get it together so that I don't have to fuck
That
with
shit sucks,
later.
man. Put it off
Yeah.
if you can. It's the worst.
Well, I want to do it now so that my kids are while they're as young as possible, so that then they can grow up in that kind of, situation.
Stable environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing to be said for it. Absolutely. Yep. I grew
then once I got that
I grew up
figured out, I
bouncing
can-
around with my mom, and just it was like it felt like we moved every 6 months, and
Right.
yeah, never fun. So, but it made me learn to have to make new friends because you switch in schools. I think with like 12 elementary schools. So
Oh damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Harsh. I was like,
It is
follow
what it
Ryan's
is.
example and get them doing DDPY with you as soon as you can. I've been loving those clips.
oh yeah, they've actually this past week they've asked for it a lot more than they normally would. So yeah, I mean Ellie would rather play Minecraft than ever hit the mat, but Mason he's all about working out as long as he gets to be on camera and be posted somewhere. That's all he cares about. Kid's got red light syndrome like crazy.
He really has. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah,
Hey, he looks
absolutely. Yeah, something good. Well, it's good for him, and
You got about 6 months before he asks you to start up his YouTube channel for him. I'm telling you.
that's where Ellie wants. Ellie's like, Dad, when do I get a YouTube? Like, she desperately wants to be like, and like we'll like go on her tablet and we'll find videos. She's like, Hey guys, it's your girl Ellie here. Make sure you like and subscribe. She's like practicing. It's just ridiculous, dude. But she does way better than we do. So if I ever need to miss a day,
Yeah,
if I ever need to
better.
miss a day, she's gonna jump in. She's like,
start
Hey,
trying
you
to-
fuckers.
You start trying to do that as an adult, it's the most awkward shit trying to talk to a camera by yourself.
Oh, it's so bad, man. That whole scene, like so many parents are trying to have that neck. I don't know. You guys don't have kids my kid's age, but I mean, you're close. But there's a kid, Ryan, and he's on Nickelodeon. He started on YouTube, and it was literally just him playing with toys. And then he got like a sponsorship through like Walmart, and they started creating Ryan's World toys. And now he's got a Nickelodeon show, and it's just him and his parents playing on a green screen. It's ludicrous, and every
Wow.
parent
Parents are
is
so
trying.
cringy.
Oh, it's so bad. But every parent is trying to make their kid that kid
Really?
because
Oh.
it's multi-millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars for this kid to play with toys on screen. Just awful. I'm like, play with your own toys. Don't watch that kid play with toys. His toys suck. So,
Damn.
Yeah. It's the new thing, man. YouTube.
It is.
It's its own.
Kids would rather watch videos of other people. My kid doesn't even watch videos of people playing with toys. He likes to watch them opening them.
Yeah.
And then giving
That's
a brief
okay,
review,
man.
and then that's the whole video.
My little cousin just stayed with me. We watched a whole series of videos of a monkey opening up presents. I think his name is George. It's multi-million-dollar views or multi-millions of views. They
George
send
of the
him.
Jungle. I've seen that.
He just opens up presents, and then that's it. And then the other video that they loved watching was this guy that just harasses cars that drive by. So a car drives by, and he makes a funny thing about the car, and hours and hours and hours watching these videos. Wow, we need to
Start doing the math.
step up our game.
If your channel is monetized and you're part of your own network and not part of a greater network, every 1,000 views is about $3.
Yeah.
So start doing that math when you see some of those view counts, man.
Right.
Our show's made about 27 cents.
Yeah.
No, we're actually in the hole with our show.
Definitely.
Ryan, maybe we
own
should stop
every
swearing.
listener.
Maybe, we can't monetize. That's okay. We're not in it for the money. If we were, we would be doing Beachbody.
Right.
Is that where I can get some money?
There you go.
That's where you fucked up, man. You went into BFR, dude. You should have went into I don't know, one of the, whatever multi-level marketing is the coolest thing right now. It's still probably Beachbody, isn't it? Shakeology. So it's on Shakeology.
He at least has a beach body.
And he's got a beach behind him. You are literally Beachbody. What are you doing?
There you go. Look at you.
I'm going to change the name.
There you go.
With a space
Literally
between
Beachbody with Dr. Tom.
Exactly.
Buy my shitty shakes right now.
Is that your nutrition segment this week?
No nutrition segment. However, somebody suggested doing a breakdown of protein powders. So
Right.
that might be something. And that kind of fits into what we were just talking about too, because there is a big difference. They said, can you explain the protein powder craze? And I was like,
Yeah. Is
there a craze? I didn't know.
I don't know what that meant, but I do. Tom, you might want to let them know, and maybe you can do it real quick, probably off the cuff. And it's something that you had done some like Q&A stuff for a while when you were first starting up Be Unstoppable, but you were talking about protein powder and the amount of protein per the serving based on what else is added. So
Awesome.
if it's that's probably a quick one you can hit on right now.
For sure. So if you're looking for protein powder in a store, when you look at the serving size, right? So there's going to be a scoop that comes in there. Not every scoop's the same. So if you use an old scoop from a previous protein powder, you're not going to get the same yield of protein because there's fillers that are added to all protein powders, flavoring agents, things like that. If you buy the purest form of protein, which is called whey protein isolate, you'll notice that your scoop size is going to be smaller for the same amount of protein. So most scoops shoot for about 25 grams of protein. Some products you'll buy will be a 50-gram scoop. It'll be a really big scoop. And that's a really good indicator that there's fillers in there, right? So there's minimally you would want, so like with an isolate, maybe it's say 30 grams is your, serving size, and 25 grams, that's going to be protein. 5 grams is going to be flavorings, anything else, right? One of the major problems of the industry is this thing called amino spiking, where you can put other cheap items in a protein powder, and it'll bulk it up. So you're going to be buying 5 pounds. They always come in 2 pounds or 5 pounds in your serving. Some of those can have a really large scoop, and you're still going to only get 25 grams of protein per scoop. Well, what else is in there? Some companies will put this thing called branched chain amino acids in there, or they'll put creatine in there. And those are dirt cheap. But when they register that on the scale to measure how much protein is in there, branched chain amino acids and creatine both trigger as protein. So they can make half of that scoop just garbage in there. 25% maybe be the actual protein. 75% can be this crap, and it's going to say that you're going to be registering at 25 grams of protein. So you have to be really careful with reading your labels. I can maybe do that as an example, maybe for the next episode, just show you a good label as opposed to a poor label. But if you have a giant scoop, and this is another thing with pre-workouts, right? If a pre-workout says it has a ton of different ingredients in it, and it's a little tiny scoop, how the fuck did they get everything in that little tiny scoop, right? Magic, right? So it just doesn't exist, right? So if you buy a pre-workout that has everything that is clinically effective in the dosages, it's going to be probably 2 scoops or a very large scoop. So we really have to be careful. The other thing too, if you think about like a multivitamin, right? Little tiny vitamin that has 70 different vitamins in it, how much effectiveness are you going to get from that multivitamin? Sometimes you'll see it's a giant pack of several different pills. So there's a lot of shadiness in the supplement worlds. But serving size is a big one for sure.
Right.
And there's different grades of protein too, right? So when we talk about whey protein isolate, that's the purest form. Then there's concentrate. There's 3 different grades of concentrate, right? There's an expensive one, which is like a yield of, I think, like 80% protein. And then there's a shitty one, which is like 37% protein. That's the one that tastes good. That's the one that has more fat. So they always have to mix that. So if you notice your protein powder has fat in it, but you don't see that they added any fat, anything else that would be a fat, like a sunflower oil or some sort of something to make the mouth feel a little better, it's probably the really shitty version of the protein. Again, the scoop will be bigger. It'll taste better, but it'll have a lot more fat and a lot more carbs in it. So it's not as simple as just picking up the bottle. And this is the biggest question that I hate is people say, what protein powder do you drink? And I'm like, what chicken breast do you eat? And they're like, well, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, well, then it doesn't matter what protein powder you're eating, because it's all marketing. Like, there's nothing different. They're buying the protein from the same manufacturer. The same supplier in China is bringing all that protein in the United States, but it's what they add to it, what's the flavoring, and then overall, what's that packaging at the end of the day.
Gotcha. So when Kenny is at GNC, and he's talking to Chad, who just got a job there and is now a
Chad Broski.
Yeah, Chad Broski. How concerned with mouthfeel should Kenny be?
Well, Kenny is all about the mouthfeel. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't even know how to answer that question. There used to be this stuff, and this is really interesting. Gaspari Nutrition is the first one that brought this stuff in. There used to be this, I don't know, they still make this. You know, you can buy the coffee creamer, which is in the powdered coffee creamer. It's just called Cremora. That's actually in a lot of your protein powders, because if you just buy plain protein powder, like Quest protein powder is just, they make a plain one, which is just straight up just protein. There's nothing else in there.
Mix. Yeah.
You mix that up and you notice it's very thin. It doesn't really taste like anything, but then other ones that are flavored will have a much, much thicker consistency. So a lot of times if it's grainy, it's probably creatine, it's probably BCAAs. But if it really tastes thick, that's the thing they add in there is Cremora, which is it's just a really, really shitty version of coffee creamer, but they could put that in there and it makes the taste 1,000 times better. So all the manufacturers use that. Yep. It's an important thing though. People want to make sure that everything, if you're going to have to slug the shit down, people want it to taste really good. Understand why it tastes good, though. There's probably other stuff in there.
On the back end.
Might be back end sugar, too. You got to watch out for that.
Well, it's interesting to hear you say BCAAs and creatine is shit, because like a lot of the products I see here they're like marketed as that. Like it's a good thing. And I never really understood why BCAAs are so important to people.
What I say is shit is that they're cheap. They're very, 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 very cheap. If you had a scoop of BCAAs or if you had a scoop of creatine, I mean, that's pennies on the dollar. But because of what it takes to really, really extract whey from dairy products, it's an expensive process. So if you're buying, a top line whey isolate, it's going to be, $16 or $7 a pound. To get creatine from China to send over, which is good creatine, it's going to be like $2 a pound, right? But if they can filter that in, if they can put a little bit in every single dose, and everyone's going to get greedy, and then they're going to put a little more in for the next one, and a little more, that's why I said shit. It's actually very, very good to use if it's used clinically dosed, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Brilliant quick dive. Holy shit, Tom. Yeah. Way to just throw that off the cuff.
Yeah, why are you doing prep the other weeks? Just fucking run.
I know.
Yeah, for real. Stop coming out. I'll just come at you with a quick question about nutrition every day, and you can.
Every question's gonna be about mouth. I need different mouthfeel.
Yes. When looking at green vegetables, which has the best mouthfeel?
What's the mouthfeel? That'll be Kenny's new segment on the show.
Mouthfeel with
Kenny.
Brilliant.
Oh god.
Well, I think we could probably wrap it up. Yeah, Buzz?
Yeah, we're good. Right, so we better wrap that up now. We've been waffling a while. So first off, we want to say a massive thank you to Chris for joining us.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure to get to know you on the show, sir. And I hope we continue that on in the socials. And, keep us up to date with things coming up, and the band will put links and all that jazz in as Ryan does that. So he's
I'll definitely put if you're cool with it, I'll put a link to, I don't know what you prefer, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, or any of that. Just let me know, and I'll just
the one that makes the most money.
None of them. Fair enough. I'll put them all. So I actually stole your tracks. I put it on the Hit the Mat podcast YouTube, and I'll just link them to there. And then, but as always, guys, if you want to reach out to us, make sure you hit us with an email at hitthemapodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on YouTube so you know when we're going to drop new content. Travis and I are talking about doing a challenge soon. Just got to get my shoulder right before we jump too far into it so we can teach the DDPY group how that challenge is actually done. I'm going to leave it at that. And if you're
what I think it is, have fun.
It is. If you're listening to us on any podcast app, make sure you rate and review our show. Help us move up in the ranks. I jumped up even higher in the Apple Podcast ranking than we were before, so that's good. Every month it seems to be moving up, so that's good.
Nice.
Our episodes are having legs. And as always, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Burn the Boats Fitness. You can also find the show on Facebook and Instagram at Hit the Map Podcast, and you can find Boz somewhere.
We are back on Track Living. Find us on Facebook. We have a page. There you go. There's a nice logo on Travis's t-shirt there. If you find the page, you can link to the group. There's an announcement in there, and because if you want to get our live workouts on a Monday, which are free, you can get those there. Last Sunday, we did our first fusion workout, which was 30 minutes of DDPY followed by 30 minutes of gravity yoga. I didn't mess it up too badly, other than not hitting record. But other than that, we're going to be doing that on the weeks I'm not recording this. The off weeks, I will be running one of those classes on a Sunday night. So those details will also be in that group if you are interested. If you don't know what gravity yoga is, it's targeted flexibility training. Okay, so there we are. Tom?
Awesome. You can find me at beyondstoppalathletics.com. I actually just started a new Twitter page called Dad vs. Tacos. I found out it's open, so it's now ready to go. Also,
Smart.
the
Solid name.
Project Mayhem official merch page is up where you can actually purchase this t-shirt. I do want to remind the world that Tom Soroka does in fact suck, and he sucks really bad. Otherwise, find us at Project Mayhem. We've got live classes each and every day. Travis, what do you got?
All right, the real Shamrock Fitness over at Instagram. Shamrock Fitness DDPY experience on Facebook. Transitioncoach.ca with myself, Dr. Marcel Dore, Kristen Nava, 18 classes a week. And I want to thank everyone who participated in Smitty's run.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Chris, anything you want to plug or at least drop
Should have
socials?
been wearing it. I've earned it now.
You did.
I think I'm all good.
Damn right you did.
You think you're good?
I think I'm all good.
All right, fair enough. Well, just look at the bottom of this video or this audio for links to Bloodsuckers Anonymous, and you can at least listen to those tracks and hear that Halloween song.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait,
Awesome.
I got one more.
Okay.
Whoa.
Do it.
I also have music out under the name Super Kick Party.
Super Kick Party.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a super kick party. It's awesome.
Fantastic.
Let's go! Sick to my stomach, I'm a picture perfect husband, undramatic, artificial imitation of a mess.
Super kick
What
party.
genre would that be?
Pop punk.
Fair enough.
Just straightforward pop punk.
Love it. Then
Yeah, I was
we'll,
thinking it
Good
sounded
stuff.
it made me think anime, like Super Punch Man kind of feel. But
you mean One Punch Man?
that's it. I'm down with the kids, me.
There is a guy that did the One Punch Man workout.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I think it's running 5 miles straight, doing 100 push-ups. It's whatever. It's some ridiculous, stupid workout. But he did it for 3 months straight, and he did before and after. Incredible. Dude got shredded.
I bet.
Christ.
So
Jesus, you run
Yeah.
5 miles a day, yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep. Well, I
Hashtag
guess-
running sucks.
Oh, the worst. Yeah, way worse than wrestling. So, all right, Boz.
Thank you, guys. Please grab your beverages and raise a toast. I do love that.
Cheers.
I need some of that in my life. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
See you next time.
Better Hit the Map podcast. Life won't pass me by if I don't close my eyes. I can't sleep without you anyway. I'm getting way too old for this. My friends keep growing up without me. I felt 17 for way too long. The same old shows, the same old bands, the same old skinny jeans and Vans.
Excellent. Hit the
I didn't
mat.
say hit the mat. Hit the mat. Fuck it.
No, we said it there. We got it. Better late than never. So Tom sucks Soroka?
So, oh come on, he
That's
said
how
the
I
same
read it.
thing.
That's how
You
I
guys
read
suck.
it.
I sent one to Tom, by the way. He's gonna get.
I
it,
mean, that's
you
a
know.
heck of a statement.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
We are ready.
Is Robin ready?
Robin, are you ready?
Don't
Don't
look
run
at
off
us,
the
you'll
dang
crash.
She is looking at us.
It's an improvement.
Is that beer in Boz's beer? I was a bit quiet last week, even though I asked if I was quiet. So
What?
I've learned not to ask you lot.
Well, dude, we're wearing headphones. You guys want to just sit here in awkward silence?
Yeah.
Oh,
is
I
that
know.
a moon? Is that a
Uh,
moonroof? It is
Should
beautiful.
we
yeah.
just text each other?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, you guys want to hang out? Let's just text each other.
Let's talk about things.
So, do you guys
fine.
want
It's
to
fine, Rose.
test out Chris? Is he available? Is he here?
He's here. He's waiting for us. He's been
All right.
listening to this shit for about 10 minutes. Sorry.
Oh,
Poor guy.
nobody told
I'm
us.
going to
so
bring him in now.
Okay.
Should be good.
All right.
So we'll-
Anything off limits, so I can attack your childhood.
Roast
Everything.
me.
Roast
What do you think of
Roast me.
What do you think of tasteful nudity? Are you for or opposed?
Any nudity, yeah, go for it.
Perfect. Perfect.
Just
Oh, boy, then.
the more
Distasteful.
Yeah.
The more distasteful, the better.
check your DMs after the show. Yeah.
Shoving it down your throat, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I love it. Well, Kenny is all about the mouthfeel.
I know a bunch about wood, boys.
Hashtag boss bitch.
What's up? I got degrees.